Thank you for purchasing your Robo3D printer, and welcome to the world of Robo3D. Together, we can change the world. You've opened your Robo3D box and have inserted the CD into your computer. Now go ahead and clear a space for you to put your printer within a few feet of your computer. Take the top foam piece and lift the printer out of the box and set it in the space you have prepared. Take off the other foam pieces and make sure you don't forget any of them. You should notice a small power cable, USB cable, a glass print bed, a small tool case, the spool holder, and a small sample of PLA filament. Make sure you have the voltage of the power set to the proper setting for your country of residence. You will either keep it set at 230 volts or switch it to 115 volts. You will find this switch in the back of your printer. The small screwdriver included in your tool case will be helpful in changing the setting if that is necessary. The Z-axis has two threaded rods, one on each side of the print bed. Each rod moves a small nut up and down to control Z-axis height. These nuts must be seated in position in the black brackets that travel up and down the Z-threaded rods. Look for the plug coming out of the main middle platform. Attach the plug to the other end of the plug on the print bed as shown here. Now align the bed magnets with the linear motion system magnets and let them connect to form your build platform. To attach your spool holder, use the screws included to attach the spindle to the frame. Now peel the backing off of the tape and mount the frame to either side of your printer. Lastly, make sure the printer is on a level platform and that there is room for the bed to move forward and backward. Let's get started. Plug in the power cord to the wall and to the back of your printer. Plug the USB cord into your computer and into your printer on the right side. Install the Robo3D software that comes available with your Robo3D, or you can go to www.robo3d.com and find the link for the latest software under support. Once the software is installed, turn on your Robo3D printer by pressing the power switch next to the power cable plug. Now open the software, click Add Printer on top of the screen, and follow the options to connect your printer to the software. If you have the ABS PLA combo printer and you are about to print with PLA, choose PLA heated bed. If you are printing with the sample material given in the box, this will be the option you choose. If you have the same model and are going to print with ABS plastic, choose ABS. If you have the PLA only model, choose PLA unheated bed. Once your printer is connected, we can test the components. First, home each axis individually. Then move the X and Y axis 100 millimeters and the Z axis 10 millimeters. Now heat up the extruder. Once heated, you can activate the extruder motor. Now heat up the heat bed and watch the temperature increase to 70 degrees Celsius. Begin by pressing the Home All button in your software screen. Now move the Z-axis up a few millimeters by hitting the Z plus button until the print head is just slightly above the bed. Adjustments can be made by adjusting the bump screw on the right side. Now make sure this height is the same across the entire bed by sliding the print head from side to side, watching for the gap to be consistent. Adjustments can be made by holding both threaded rod and twisting the threaded rod on the right side to lower or raise the print head. Once it is level on both sides, you can move on to the next step. Now hit the Home All button again. We want the print head to rest right on top of the print bed. If the print head is too high and not touching the bed, then slightly turn the bump screw counterclockwise and then re-hit Z home button. If the print head is too low, then slightly turn the bump screw clockwise and then re-hit Z home button. Keep adjusting this if needed until the print head is slightly resting on the bed. Use the buttons of the software to heat up the extruder and wait until it gets to 190 degrees. Now put the filament on the spool holder and pass it through the top hole of the printer. Then press the thumb lever on the extruder latch to allow for the insertion of the filament. Twist the big gear clockwise until you can see the filament extruding through the tip of the extruder. Now you are ready with material to print. We have come to know a few methods that will work well for helping the PLA and ABS to adhere to the print bed surface. Our favorite is to spray a thin coat of hairspray onto the surface of the bed while the print bed heat is maintained from 55 to 65 degrees Celsius. We recommend you shield the other parts of the printer from overspray with a piece of paper. It is also possible to use a glue stick. Rub the glue stick on the surface of the print bed, enough to cover the surface that you will be printing on. The final method we recommend is laying down strips of painter's tape on the bed and cleaning them with rubbing alcohol. This removes any film that may be on the tape. Make sure the strips of tape are not overlapping. Go to Print Control in the software and down to the Configure button. Click the button and follow the steps. It will home the printer to its position. As you click Next, it will then perform the 3-point leveling procedure. You will manually bring down the print head to barely touch the build platform. Once each point is successfully set to touch the build platform, you will be configured. The software memorizes the lay of the bed and makes micro adjustments during the print to ensure consistency across the entire printing area. If anything becomes misaligned for any reason, repeat this procedure. We have included several prints with the software. You can choose either of these as your first print. All of these prints are set up for using PLA filament. Please only use PLA filament for these pre-loaded prints. Click on the print you would like to use and click on the button Start Print. It will take a few minutes to prepare the file and heat up the elements needed. Once that's done, it will automatically begin printing. For each print you start, make sure you watch the first layer. If the print bed has been prepared correctly and the 3-point leveling procedure has been used, your first layer should look perfect. If you notice small imperfections such as a filament sticking up or small clumps of filament randomly scattered across the layer, then let the print continue. These won't be noticeable once the next layer or two is laid on top of this first layer. Congratulations on your first print. If there are any major problems with your first print, please refer to the troubleshooting section of this video guide. If the extruder is not heating up, check the temperature reading. If 0, please email robo3dhelp@gmail.com. If above 300, please also email robo3dhelp@gmail.com. There is a solution that can be reached or a part may potentially need to be replaced, and we will take care of you. If the temperature reading is otherwise, then it should be working fine for printing. If a motor is not moving or is only moving in one direction, check to make sure your end stops are connected and the wires are not disconnected. If any of the components are not working, try disconnecting the printer, turning it off, and restarting the computer. Then retry. In case you don't have any power, slightly lift up the printer and see if there is a green light glowing on the big silver power supply box. Remember, your printer must be in the on position for the green light to be glowing. If it's not on, try a different power cord. If your first layer is not sticking, it is probably due to the print head being too high or the surface requiring either hairspray, glue stick, or painter's tape to create adhesion. Reconfigure your printer and follow the video about making sure your print head is in the proper position. If no plastic is coming out of the extruder, clean the teeth of the hobbed bolt so it can pull the plastic material down into the hot end. Pull out the filament currently in the printer. Cut the filament about 6 inches up to start with a fresh piece of plastic and retry. If you have any other issues, contact Robo3D help at gmail.com. Thank you and enjoy your Robo3D.